Hi everyone! Today we're making shepherd's pie. So this is the recipe I've been wanting to share with you for a little while, but I wasn't able to because I was totally snowed under with the yoga teacher training. So I wasn't able to make as many videos as usual. But finally today is happening, and the reason being that I have graduated last weekend. So yes, you're looking at a spanking new yoga teacher right here, freshly out of the oven. So the graduation happened last Sunday, and I just want to share something with you quickly. So on Sunday morning, just before the graduation, and a classmate of mine, Iona, the sweetest girl on the planet, she gave me a present. It was a surprise, totally unexpected. So I just want to show it to you. So this requires a little bit of contortion on my part, and it will be clear why that is. So I don't know whether you can see. Can you see that? So you're looking at my foot right here, okay? And sorry about that, but you can see this is a red nose, and this is reindeer sock that you're looking at here. So I was given these socks. I can't believe it just did that. Yeah, it was just so lovely. It was such a pleasant surprise, and it was such a sweet thing Iona has done. So she has been sitting next to me for pretty much an entire course, and we got to know each other a little bit. And you know, I'm not the easiest person to make friends. I'll be honest with you. I'm quite introverted in many ways. So I'm hoping to keep in touch with her, and who knows, on the path of teaching yoga, I'm sure we'll be helping each other out. So this is for you, Iona. Thank you for the socks, and I'll dedicate this video to you. You won't be able to see my feet, but I'll be wearing them as I'm making this pie. Thank you very much. So back to the pie. This is really a dream recipe. It's creamy, it's comforting, it's piping hot. It's great for this season. And you know what? If you're looking to have a keto vegan Christmas dinner, then this pie is for you. You can make most of the preparation on the day before and just bake the pie on the day. How good is that? So let me show you how to make it. The ingredients you need. So look at this. This is like a feast of fresh vegetables, but we're going to do magic with it. So first of all, we need a pretty large cauliflower. We're going to use the cauliflower to create the gorgeous, creamy cauliflower mash. Trust me, this is going to be better than potato mash you've ever eaten. And then we're going to use some carrots. So these are quite small, so you probably need 2 medium carrots for this recipe. And then some mushrooms. And I've got 2 pretty large courgettes right here. And then we're going to add celery as well. And this is going to give it such a wonderful flavor. So we're going to use about probably most of what you're looking at here. So it's about 4 or 5 large stalks. And then we need 2 big onions. So this is going to give the pie a wonderful sweetness. So 2 big onions. And for the seasoning, we're going to add a little bit of a soy sauce. So this is my secret ingredient. So traditionally, the shepherd's pie will have Worcestershire sauce, but Worcestershire sauce has fish in it. So it's not vegan, and it's probably not that keto either. So we're going to just add a small dash of soy sauce. It's going to taste great. And you also need some coconut oil. I'm going to use coconut oil and some olive oil. So you should have them already in your kitchen. And on top of that, salt and pepper. And this is it. This is all you need. And now we're going to make the pie fillings and the beautiful mash that goes on top of it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to make the gorgeous, gorgeous cauliflower mash. So I basically break up the cauliflower into these big florets, and we're going to poach them till they're tender and turn it into mash. Okay, just pop them in here, quite a lot of it. But I'd rather make more than not having enough. And then we're going to top it with some cold water. So you don't need to cover it with water. They're going to get cooked down slightly and produce more water. So I'm just covering about half of the height here. And turn the heat on. So you can put a lid on to allow it to cook a bit faster. And we're going to just allow it to cook. So the cauliflower has been poached for about 10 minutes. I'm going to just use a fork and see if it's been cooked through properly. So that's pretty good. So you don't want to overcook it till they're totally mushed. You want them to still be able to hold shape. It just makes better mash that way. So now we're going to drain the water and we're going to turn into mash. Okay, I've drained the water, and while it's still hot, we're going to add in some oil. So I've got coconut oil here. I'm going to add in a really generous dollop of coconut oil. And on top of that, I'm going to add some olive oil as well. I like the combination of both. I think coconut oil makes it creamy, and olive oil gives it a lot of flavor. You can add the oil you like, but I like the combination here. So I'm going to just drizzle it quite generously. And on top of that, I'm going to add in some salt. So I'm going to just add just a small amount for now, and I'll taste it, and then if I need more, I'll add more. And I'm going to use a handheld blender. You can put it through a food processor if you want. So here we go. Okay, I think we're good. And just look at how creamy and smooth it is. So we're going to cover it and leave it aside till the pie filling is ready. Okay, now we're going to make the pie fillings, and really couldn't be easier. Literally, we're just going to saute all the vegetables together, and that's it. I'm using a large saucepan because I've got a lot of vegetables. So I'm going to add some olive oil. So you can use any kind of oil you want, but I think olive oil actually works quite well. And I'm going to turn the heat on. And we're going to add in the vegetables in a certain order, just based on the time they require to cook. So the first thing I'm going to add in is chopped onions. So what I've done is to cut all the vegetables in a very similar size cubes here. The first one I'm going to add in is the onion. So we're frying onion first to create that amazing flavors as the foundation. Onions and olive oil is just made in heaven. It just smells so nice. As the onions soften slightly, we're going to add in our carrots. Again, I chopped them in a very similar size cubes. So we're adding the carrots first, other than onions, is it takes the longest time to cook. So you want the carrots to be nice and tender when it goes into the pie. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add is the celery. So pop them in here. I mean, celery is kind of the soul of this pie. It just gives that hint of that celeriness, is that even a word, into the pie. That just makes it taste so nice. So keep stirring. You don't want any ingredients to burn. The next thing we're going to add is the mushroom. So again, just chop them roughly. You can chop them finer if you want, but I like them chunky. So this is why you need a big pot, because there's a lot going on in here. And the last vegetable we're going to add is the courgette, because they'll cook in no time. So you don't want them to be overcooked. Okay, from here, so remember the ingredients, we also have tomatoes. You have two options. So what I've done here is to chop the tomatoes and then cook them down with a bit of olive oil and then blend it till it turns into puree. But the second option is you can just blitz the fresh tomatoes without cooking them. It will still work, but I prefer the flavor once they're cooked. So they turn into kind of tomato sauce. And what we're going to do here is to pour in the tomato puree. So beautiful. The reason you want it in the puree form is that so the tomato skin doesn't get into your teeth and stuff like that. This will help to bind everything together. So at this stage, it might look a little bit dry right now, but don't worry, everything will get cooked down. You just need to simmer it for a little bit. You might want to turn the heat down slightly. And this stage, it would be a good time to add some seasoning. So I'm going to add in a dash of soy sauce. This is kind of a Worcestershire sauce replacement. I promise it won't taste soy sauce at all. It would just give it that sort of sweet and savory flavor to it. And then we're going to season it with some salt and pepper. So the quantity you'll have to taste the vegetables to decide how much you need. I'm going to just give it a sprinkle for now. And then some black pepper. I like to add a lot of black pepper for this pie. Right, I'm going to turn the heat down slightly. And then just allow it to cook. Okay, so all ingredients have gone in. And now all we have to do is allow it to cook down gently. You want the sauce to be creamy but not watery. If it feels watery, then maybe you want to cook it down a little bit more to reduce that liquid. So I think the filling is ready. And I'm going to turn the heat off and let's put the pie together. Now we're ready to assemble the pie. So I've got a pie dish here. So what you want is something that's reasonably deep, so it can hold the fillings and also the mash as well. So this is my pie filling here. And literally I'm just gonna scoop the vegetables onto the pie dish. I'll just pour the whole thing in. So you want to give it a gentle press down and make sure everything's distributed kind of evenly. And here's our mash. So the easiest way to do this is to use a rubber spatula. This will allow you to scrape everything clean easily. Now I'm going to scoop in the mash, 1 dollop at a time on top. Oh my God, this is so good. Trust me, even if you're not on keto, I think you would prefer this mash. It's much lighter and it's so creamy as well. It's kind of guilt-free mash that doesn't weigh you down. And you can even make the mash on its own as a side dish. So the trick is to add it on top in the center and then spread it outwards. So you get the best results. Just gently push outwards, cover the edges. So the pie is fully covered by this gorgeous mash. And now we can be creative. I'm going to just make some marking with a fork. So this is to create some pattern to it, but also to kind of increase the surfaces. It can be browned. It would be just nice. So I'm gonna just be quite liberal about it. Just give it a little kind of wave shape. And then some more here. I'm also going to do it vertically as well. So it looks nice, but also functional. And from here, it's optional, but I like to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top. So don't use the cold press olive oil because this is going to make contact with the heat. Just use some good cooking olive oil and drizzle some on top. Great, so now the pie is ready to go into the oven. Okay, so the pie is going to a 200 to 220 preheated oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. So the time might vary a little bit, depends on your oven, but we're going to bake it till the surface of the mash is golden brown. It'll be so delicious. So it's been about half an hour. I'm going to take the pie out of the oven. Now, and look at that. How gorgeous is that? It's lovely and golden brown. There's really not much you can improve on this gorgeousness, but I'm going to attempt to beautify even more with some chopped chives. So I just chop them really finely. I'm gonna just sprinkle some of that on top of this beautiful golden brown mash pie thing. This is just so nice. And the kitchen is smelling so amazing. And maybe just a couple of basil leaves on top, just full effect. Allow me. So there you go. That's the shepherd's pie. I can't wait to eat it. I genuinely cannot wait. So there you go. That's our keto vegan shepherd's pie. I can't wait to eat it. So I'm going to take a scoop out of it. So I'm going to attempt to take a portion out for me. Oh, this is so good. It's still piping hot. And you can feel that it's still bubbling underneath. And the sauce is so creamy, so nice. And with my portion, I'm going to sprinkle a few more chives. It's amazing. Well, so there you go. Time to eat. The mash is just so beautiful, I tell you. The seasoning is just perfect. And all the vegetables kind of mingle together, making this beautiful dance in your mouth. And the creamy cauliflower is just like beautiful music, like kind of bind everything together. Really, really have to try it. So I hope you like this recipe. And again, this will make a beautiful Christmas dinner dish that is going to make everyone happy. Even non-keto, I promise. I think the mash, for me, is much better than potato mash. So definitely give it a go. You won't regret it. So just to let you know that I've created a Heavenly Fan yoga channel. It's called Heavenly Fan Yoga. Very creative, I know, but it kind of makes sense, right? There's no content yet, but I'll encourage you to subscribe to it. Now I'll put the link down below, because I'm fully aware that I'm inviting you to subscribe to a channel that has no content yet, but hopefully things will start to kick off in January and I'll start to create yoga content for you, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you will subscribe to it so you won't miss anything. So follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I post the food I eat on a daily basis and hopefully kind of a bit of inspiration for you. So thanks for hanging out with me and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.